What is up, good people? Jungle Inc. here. Hope you're doing well. A lot of people have been asking, what's going on with your Twitter, Jungle? Have you regained access? And, this is the deal. I put about 5 different requests through to Twitter to regain access to my account. I've sent over my ID and still nothing back. I get a little report that there's an open ticket and they've added my latest complaint to the file, but nothing beyond that. So I have no idea how long this will take to regain access to my account. I haven't totally decided what I'm going to do with it. I've talked about shutting it down completely. I got to tell you, I do miss Twitter, talking with everyone in real time. So we'll have to see. But at this point in time, there's not much option until Elon gets around to taking a look at my file and actually giving me access back. So do not trust anything that comes from the Jungle Link account at this point in time. It has been captured and scammers are using it to put out phishing links. So be very, very careful. Dwindling optimism for Bitcoin ETF approval to blame as weekly crypto outflows hit 55 million. So everyone's asking why. It's back to that question. We want to have some control over our destiny. What's causing this downturn in cryptocurrencies? And of course, that's part of it. We saw this BlackRock filed and Fidelity and this big rush. We saw a lot of bullishness, price going up. I'm sure the fact that it looks like it's been kicked off at least till early next year, that's part of it. But I think you just look at the first part of this year has been incredibly bullish. You look at the S&P 500 up quite a bit. Financial markets, everything has continued to gain ground. We have to ask ourselves, is that going to continue for the second half of this year? Now, I've been wrong before, as I've stated. It may be an oddity, and we see massive growth, but that's not really the environment I'm seeing here. Again, last year was really tough, and it's very rare you get 2 back-to-back years like that where it's just destruction. But at the same time, I think we're up quite a bit, and it's time to continue, a pullback as we head through the rest of this year. We'll see what happens, but it's probably a bunch of things that go into a crypto crash like that. Some of it is manipulation, of course, by whales as they splash the market to try to cause cascading liquidations and things like that. Part of it is this ETF stuff, just the general outlook, and then probably valuations have gotten a little bit high for where we are right now, even though 2024 has a lot of bullish stuff to try to front run. I think we're just a ways off there, and it's a little too early, and I think people are recognizing that, and they start selling, pulling profits, again, from a pretty good year to date until we saw this current pullback. So I look for this to continue. Of course, nothing goes directly down, but as we work through the rest of this year, I think it will continue to trend down for both the broader financial market and also crypto. I know most of the very smart people out there think otherwise, so that's all right. I buy dips. I hold for the long term, and we will see how it all plays out, won't we? Polkadot Q2 was rife with hits and misses. This is one I'm excited about. A lot of building on the horizon. We see tons of development activity. And the question is, when we hit the next bull run, are they going to have DApps? Are people going to be coming to this network to trade various assets, whether they are DOT assets or ERC20s, being able to trade in a more efficient way? Or will ETH Layer 2 capture all of that? Can Polkadot be a force? My stance here. I think they have some UI stuff they got to clean up a little bit. Very compelling network. Ton of building going on there. I think it will do quite well. We have a little bit of development still here to go. Let's see if they can pull it all together in time. But if they do, Polkadot could really be a force. And it's going to be like the last run when you saw everyone running to the Binance chain. Do a lot of these DeFi transactions and trade a lot of assets. Are we going to see some of that flow over to Polkadot? I bet you we do. Again, last time around, it was very much a dummy token. A lot of promise, a lot of excitement, not much utility. They were just getting the parachains going. I think this next time around, it will be better. Another one like that, Cardano, just not having a great time. On the month, we're down about 16%. A lot of this is probably FUD with the SEC naming it, in those ancillary lawsuits where they're not suing Cardano in any sort of way, but they say we think that the ADA token is a illegal security. I think that's affected it to some extent. Further, we're just kind of in the doldrums. We're in that spot right before the next, big bull run, but far enough away where that excitement just isn't there. People get bored, start selling off. They go to sleep on, projects with real value. we see a ton of stuff going here with Cardano. They've made tons of progress. We have actual smart contracts, a fully functioning ecosystem up and going. And I bet you once we hit the next bull run, you're going to see a lot of activity on this network, a lot of DeFi going on, NFTs, really exciting stuff. We'll break it down further as we really deep dive into Cardano as we continue forward. But I'm telling you right now, this isn't one to go to sleep on. And if we see those prices continue to, go down and down and down, you're really going to want to pay attention. Cardano might be a great opportunity. Now, I don't think you're going to get as low as you did last time around. I mean, how ridiculous was that? We drifted all the way down to a couple cents. But I still think you're going to have great growth potential here. If you use the last bull run kind of as your cheat sheet, you see, with 26-cent Cardano, pretty good upside there for such a compelling network and one that's been around bull run to bull run to bull run, and it's not fading away. They're not taking their foot off the accelerator. They continue to build and really improve that network, and this is one of the handful of networks I think that over the long haul, if Ethereum is not very careful, if they don't get it all exactly right, Cardano could give them fits as we continue to work towards mass adoption and scaling. Another one just that seems to just get wrecked by this FUD of the SEC naming them is Cosmos Atom. I don't think there's a much more compelling network out there, one that's just a blast to use. I think Cosmos, again, is just really, after a rock solid time of staying above $10, looking pretty good. When it was named as an illegal security in those ancillary SEC lawsuits, it took a big hit. I think people are worried. It's not like when XRP was named as a security and they sued Ripple directly and you saw all these delistings. This is a different kind of level. Definitely risk there. You got to factor that in, but I don't think the same type of risk. There's so many cryptos that have been named. They just can't go after all of these assets. So I don't think you want to take that, too seriously. Like if they actually sued a project directly, that'd be a different kind of thing. You probably might see a delisting there. But when they're just named in these ancillary filings, I wouldn't take that to heart. I look for Cosmos to do really good. I know they're bringing on USDC onto the network. Should see a lot of activity there. Again, this is all building up for the next bull run. And as these prices start going down and down and down, using the last run as a cheat sheet, and if you think it's going to be better the next time around, well, might be a good opportunity. Keep your eyes on Cosmos Atom. We may get even better buying opportunities, but man, $7.46, pretty compelling there. Crypto miners pivoting. And this is part of it. I've been talking about the symbiotic relationship between AI and blockchain technology, and we're seeing this out of the mining sector as well. They want to diversify their cash flows here, and we know they lost Ethereum mining because now that's proof of stake. They're not making revenues from that. Well, they're able to diversify into AI compute and providing compute power and things like that, earning in that manner. And so this is another example of how, these two sectors can come together and be symbiotic. And I think that's what we see. I saw some people worried that maybe, Bitcoin miners will pivot too much to just AI compute. I don't think that is a risk at all. It's just going to be another source of revenue. And I really feel that over the long term, this is going to help build green energy, investment in these big data centers, and it will be overall good for both cryptocurrencies and for the green energy infrastructure and also for AI. So these things can work together in a big way. Hong Kong is betting big on the crypto sector as they try to build this financial hub for the world. We see Hong Kong is embracing virtual assets, betting that new regulatory frameworks will help the city avoid stumbles seen elsewhere. So this will help you avoid your FTXs and your Celsiuses by having clear laws. You have to register, you're monitored, you have to report. And this is going to be a big deal for the future. Hong Kong officials have acknowledged that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. This is what we've been saying. This is going to be part of the future. And that the semi-autonomous Chinese territory must welcome the industry to keep its status as a global financial hub. So this is a necessity for the financial system of the future. And you're not going to be a player if you don't acknowledge that and build for the future. We are not aiming to be a crypto trading hub. So they don't want to just be about crypto, like the place you go if you want to build whatever you want in crypto. But they understand and recognize that crypto trading is an important part of a virtual asset ecosystem. You have to embrace this. You have to build for it. You have to have clear laws and registration requirements. But at the same time, you can't be like we are, where it's just really the wild, wild west. It's probably more wild, wild west today than where we were in 18, 19, and 20. And that's part of the failures of the SEC, but I think even more so our Congress. You have to roll out those clear regulations so the enforcement agencies know what laws they're pushing, and also the entrepreneurs know what guidelines they're supposed to be following. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.